Hey guys, Merry Christmas. I wanted to come on and bring some of y'all's attention real quick. I got some information back today that had sent into a friend of mine that works for, well, he's a sheriff of about 18 years. And I had a couple of questions on some stuff that I never really brought up to y'all yet, but it's out there. It's just nobody's really talked about it. But if you go and look under all the information about the Sebastin Rogers, like the investigators, where they talk, where they say, don't look at, don't trust social media on all of them, right? It could be in hindering the case or whatever. And, the things they're working on, the one lead that they have, and this, that, and the other. The way they put this on there was really shocking to me because when I read it, the first time I was like, come on, right? No way, right? So then I read it again, right? I'm going to read it to y'all because it's out there. It's online. It's out there. Underneath the information on the case. It says, from the night Sebastin went missing. Oh, hold on. Allegedly, my opinion, guys. These are just my theories, my speculations. Not to reflect on the channel. It's allegedly all my opinions. And y'all's comments, y'all's and y'all's alone, not to reflect the channel. We do our research together. So let me read this here because it's about the home security video titled underneath the one that talks about social media and what's going on in social media. Then if you skip down one, it says one of the clue things that they have in the case is home security video. It says from the night Sebastin disappeared, shows suspicious activity around his home. The investigator says, with mere fact, right? MERE, which is a word they use for, y'all look it up. Y'all do the research. I don't want to spoil it all, but look it up. It says someone was there outside Sebastin's house is significant. Okay, this is one of the main things I've looked at from the get-go. And that's how I base a lot of my stuff on, why I kept saying the Tinkerbell video was probably the only really major clue they had, other than maybe a few other surveillance tapes, but this one was the main important one. That's why he was so upset when it got out, right? And I don't blame him, I would be too. But that's exactly how it was worded. Y'all will find it. It says, home security video in bold, and underneath it says, I'll read it one more time. From the night Sebastin disappeared, shows suspicious activity around his home. Then it says, right underneath that, the investigator says, the mere fact someone was there outside Sebastin's house is significant. Okay? I think this clip is why they were able to get the landfill. I think this video is why they were able to get the search warrant for the landfill. I really do. Because I know you have to have something really, really good. And I think this video made them feel like they needed to check. And I think that's how they were able to grab this warrant. And I think this was the main clue they had from the beginning. Was probably the only one they had from the beginning, other than the few little things that they put together, like the shoes and things like that nature, right? And then not finding anything in the search, right? Nothing. Like the searching all the 5 miles and nothing, right? That to me, that's basically another reason to me. But I did want to come on and say that for a minute because I felt like a lot of people didn't catch it. And it brings me back to how I feel on the Roadhouse video. Like, it does show a lot. I'm sure they've been breaking that down 100 million times already, right? And trying to make sense of why she was doing what she was doing in that restaurant. Like, not communicating with Sebastin, taking pictures of him. I mean, they know all this, right? They have all this. FBI, Secret Service, all of them have it. Everybody that helped in this case has that footage and seen that footage. Then the neighbor that was so brave that came out and talked on JLR, shout out to her, shout out to him for putting her on there. I think that's great. I've always thought court records were motive, CPS was motive. Those were the motives in this whole thing. Because everybody, well, there's no motive. Yeah, there is motive. There's a lot of motive. And, but the home security video I always felt was more. And I'm wondering if there's more on other home footages from that same night that shows more about the vehicle, or at least a close idea of what it was. You know, we know now there's a few more coming out. I haven't seen them yet. I saw a little clip of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing yet. Where it looks like they're coming off the highway or whatnot. And I used that one of my thumbnails today, I think. But the cell phone, Sebastin's cell phone, like I said, I felt like something happened right after, because he couldn't have his cell phone with him, because it would have been the location, it would have shared, and it would have, you know, probably paired to the car. I'm sure they had it like that, where Wi-Fi, whatever, it probably would have worked. And so that's why they did it. But I think, and the trash truck guys, you know, came at what, 5:10, somewhere around in there, I believe, right? Allegedly. Trigger warning, guys, on this, times 100 million. Sorry, I forgot to say that. But if you look at the trash truck, the ones that I researched, the arms in the back, right? The lights are in the back. So you do have to roll that can up to the back of that truck, and then they dump it, and then they hop on that little plate, and then they go to the next can. Usually it's 2 people on there, one on each side. One does left, one does right. And that's how they move in and out of there so quickly, right? And I do feel that, I mean, those trucks are that way. It's a rear end. We got confirmation on that. It's a rear end truck, which means they physically have to get out. But we know the trash truck didn't come anywhere between 3 in the morning or whenever that camera was stuck, right? Because the camera seemed to run fine on the trash truck. So I think it was only jammed for a little bit, right? Just because that was, I think, caused. I don't think it was something that was broken. I think that it was the jammers is what stuck that camera. And then as soon as that was out of the area, it came back. But it's somewhere around in that time. And like I said today on my videos, I feel that the time frame of all 4 of them being in there was that. I feel like that video, somehow, some way, they had to have caught a glimpse of something with the white stripe on the black pants, or something to make them think that it was either Sebastin or somebody with Sebastin, which to me, I believe that was Katie in Sebastin's clothes, and that's how she knew exactly what to say, what he was wearing, right? That's how I feel about it. And of course, just my opinion, but that's what I feel, that she used those clothes and his shoes to lead those dogs off, and to lead probably mother-in-law out there to Terry after he had come in from Chris's camper, because they had to be able to talk for those 3 hours to give him an alibi, right? And I do believe whatever happened right after the roadhouse, shortly after. I don't think it was long. But then again, I could be wrong. He could have been at home. He could have had the thud noise. He could have, but I don't think all that happened. I really don't. It's possible. I mean, it is still 10% chance the boy ran away, right? We have to look at that as well. But I do feel that this home security clip, the way they worded this, the investigator worded this in there in front of everybody to see, and nobody's caught it that I'm aware of, the way he worded it with the mere fact. Now, if he'd have just said mere, that's a hunch, that's what it, but when you say mere fact, it has a total different meaning. And I know y'all are going to be Googling it and research, but you're going to find out. You're going to see what I'm saying on this, and it will blow your mind. I think the school teachers did a lot of help in the beginning of this. I'm sure they investigated. I'm sure the investigators talked with all the counselors, all the teachers. We know that CPS was involved at least twice, because he said it was the same one that came before. The Wi-Fi now on picking up on his pickup and phone, I'm wondering about that. I've always thought that he was there, probably for the whole weekend. That means that poker party that a lot of people are saying, he might have been at that poker party. And the 3-hour phone call, I always think that wasn't done between them two. I think it was somebody to make it look like them two. I also feel that the lie detector test, you know, when he jumped out on Nancy Grace and, yeah, name, time, and place, I'll be there, right? Like, that was just him trying to look like, you know, I'm not worried, right? But then he never did it. So some people saying that he took it, there's no proof that he took it, and that came out last night. There's no record of him taking anything. We know supposedly she took one, but we don't know what that was. They've never come out and said results. And I mean, if you look at Seth's, he took his, and look how long it took to get the results, a couple of weeks. So if she was jumping on saying she took one in a few weeks and she passed, how does she know she passed yet, right? I mean, they're going to tell you whatever they want to tell you. They might have told her she passed and she failed, right? They're not going to tell you the truth if you're a suspect. They're not going to tell you that. And they just didn't have enough information to do what they needed to do. But the 17-hour trip the next day or whatever, when he went back and got the camper, it should have never taken 17 hours. I'm sorry, never should have taken 17 hours. Whatever I think was, if there was foul play involved, that's when the cover-up happened, right? That's whenever he put him somewhere or whatever. Or if they hit him, that's when the time they hit him, right? I wouldn't see him leaving in that camper by himself unless the Bowerstocks had gone back to that camper and were staying with him when Chris left. And, you know, go from there on that. But I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about that because I think that the way they worded that has a lot of meaning, and I wanted to open y'all's eyes to it so y'all can go find it. And y'all will find it. It's under there in the small prints. There's like 4 of them. There's one that talks about tips. There's one that talks about where to call for tips, and the one that talks about the social media part. Then right underneath that one, it says home security video in bold, and then underneath it, it says what that investigator said. And so I really think that's why the FBI is doing what they're doing. I'm wondering if why they're saying the 26th on that FBI thing is because they think that the clothes that he was described as wearing, they might have saw something that night in that clip, similar maybe, off of another home surveillance or something. Or, who knows, maybe they found those pants and sweatshirts somewhere that have been thrown away when they searched the landfill. Maybe they just haven't said anything. Maybe they found those clothes in a trash bag out there. And that's why they know that most likely, I don't know. I'm not going to go there yet. I got a lot more for y'all, but I do think they found something at the landfill. I think it was either clothes, something to do with what she wore to cover it up for him or to make it look like him, until if it was seen on surveillance, it would look like exactly what she explained he was wearing. But I don't know. It's just my opinion, guys. But I just wanted to jump on real quick. I got stuff to do, and I got to get a bunch of paperwork done for work. But I was thinking about this a lot, and I talked to my buddy, and I was like, man, I need to get on and do it right now. So I wanted to come out and bring that to y'all. And, you know, Merry Christmas. It's almost here. Poor little Sebastin's still not home. Justice for Sebastin Rogers is a must. Keep him in your prayers tonight. Keep him in your prayers tomorrow. And I know y'all will. And let's pray for all the missing and all the runaways. They run away for a reason, guys. They do. And pray for all the voices, the ones that don't have a voice. Right now, Sebastin Rogers doesn't have a voice. So we need to be his voice, right? Pray for him. And remember, allegedly, these are just my opinions. And nothing here I'm stating is fact other than what is on the website. And word for word, how I just read it to you is exactly what you'll find. And that is fact because it's in there. And it's underneath the information from the law enforcement there and the investigator. So y'all go check that out. Have a good night, guys. And trigger warning times 100 million. Y'all be safe. Wonderful Christmas. Wonderful New Year. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I got something planned for tomorrow. I'm going to bring a little more of what I didn't want to talk about tonight because I got a whole bunch of notes here, but I don't want to dig into it just yet. So y'all have a good night. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for all y'all's wonderful comments. And all y'all's kind-hearted Merry Christmases. Merry Christmas back to all y'all. We love all y'all. Be safe, please. Hug your kids. Hug your grandbabies. Hold them tight. Hold your family tight. Tell them you love them. Life is short. All right, guys. Remember, justice for Sebastin Rogers. We'll talk soon. All right, bye.